Tasting wine has deeply permeated Western culture. Being intoxicated is often seen as a state of happiness, where we release sorrow, express courage, and find extreme joy and happiness. Indeed, alcohol dissolves inhibitions, dispels fear, and momentarily makes us forget life's issues, at least for a short time. While alcohol can bring a sense of happiness, it also weakens the senses, reduces intellectual abilities, and impairs motor skills, making us less intelligent individuals. Furthermore, intoxication often leads to violence and contributes to the scourge of alcohol addiction, causing harm to millions of lives. Therefore, despite choosing the allure and thrill of alcohol, its negative impacts have and continue to detract from deeply appreciating the precious gift the universe has bestowed upon us, life. Instead of avoiding life's experiences, with all its rawness and emotional spectrum from joy to hardship, how can we fully embrace it with clarity, similar to how we embrace it in an intoxicated state? In simpler terms, how can we live life to the fullest? Many years ago, I heard a story from Taoism about Laozi meeting Confucius and Buddha in a tea house. As they sat together, the server offered them a special drink called life juice. Immediately, Buddha declined this offer, explaining that birth, death, and life all carry suffering, and life juice surely isn't worth savoring. In fact, his true enlightenment was liberation from the prison of suffering. When they sat back at the table, the server offered a special drink called life juice. Buddha immediately declined, emphasizing that birth, death, and life all carry suffering, and life juice is not worth drinking. Confucius took a sip but found it unpleasant. "Indeed," he said, "it is truly foul, bitter, and miserable, not worthy of consumption." Laozi then took the bottle and drank it in one go. Afterwards, he stood up and began to dance, leap, and shout like a madman. After a while, he stopped and returned to his seat. Buddha and Confucius, curious, asked, "So, what was that all about?" Laozi replied, "There's nothing more to say because there's nothing that needs to be said." He explained that Buddha had quickly made a judgment, while Confucius based his conclusion on a small sip. Their theories might argue that life isn't worth enduring suffering. Based on this viewpoint, it might be better to avoid life's difficult aspects to avoid suffering. However, in the story, they refused to experience life itself, and a million words wouldn't suffice to describe life's true value. Therefore, there's nothing to say. To truly understand life deeply, one needs to experience it fully. The story does not intend to diminish the value of Buddha and Confucius or their profound traditions of wisdom. Instead, it delivers two important messages. Firstly, don't let religion or ideologies hinder us from exploring life. When we impose rigid rules upon ourselves and lack flexibility, it makes it difficult for us to adapt to the constant changes in life. As Laozi wrote in the Tao Te Ching, "The rigid and inflexible are disciples of death. The soft and yielding are disciples of life." Secondly, to truly experience life, we should live it soberly and just dance. But often, after consuming alcoholic beverages, we tend to dance. Being drunk is no longer unfamiliar. It's an experience that many consider a joy of life. However, the irony is that this joy often stems from our self-imposed detachment from life. Perhaps there are many, or even more, individuals who are engrossed in seeking sustainability in their spirituality. When our senses are numbed, can we truly understand the real meaning of life? Maybe we should experience life less and instead cherish it more deeply. This means not fleeing from our fears or emotions. Instead, we can learn to confront and accept them. For example, when sad, instead of opting for alcohol, we can try to sincerely and deeply explore and understand that emotion. When we are happy, we drink. When we are anxious, we drink again. Therefore, this type of intoxication is how we reject life by using a mind-altering substance. But now, getting intoxicated with life can be a counterintuitive approach. Instead of trying to prevent overwhelming things, let's embrace the whole span of life. Look, when people drink, they often seem to want to board a roller coaster without fear. They crave adventure, desire exciting interactions, and long to meet captivating individuals. By reducing fear, they often realize that turning these dreams into reality becomes easier. Although fear can cause discomfort, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Instead, it's a natural body response, triggered to react by fighting or fleeing. Thus, it's the consequence of venturing into uncharted territory, a consequence that dissipates when one feels safe. This is the price we pay when we leave our comfort zone. However, the reward is immensely valuable. This conscious engagement with life's elements makes life refreshing. It's the joy of surpassing limits and fears. Why is anxiety the dizziness of freedom? Being enamored with life means fully enjoying and deeply understanding what life brings in its everyday experiences. When we try to numb ourselves with substances or activities, it's evidence of the intensity of life's experiences. Life is sometimes too powerful for us to fully comprehend and handle. However, here we discover a key to harmonizing with life, learning to ride the waves, no matter how big they are, and knowing how to enjoy the peace when the sea is calm. We don't cling tightly to emotional highs and lows, nor do we try to homogenize everything. It's when we endure deep pain from hurt, yet also appreciate the moments of happiness when reunited with loved ones after days apart. That's when we feel the thrill of overcoming fear, experience joy in nature, feel contentment without needing more, and rejoice in pursuing ethical values like adherence of Stoic philosophy. It's not merely observing life rigidly from afar, but affirming ourselves in the present while respecting and accepting what already exists. Therefore, instead of resisting essential parts of life, we should nurture curiosity and welcome them. How can we fully immerse ourselves in life? Simply by engaging in it. The paradox is that it's only when we don't numb our senses, like when intoxicated, that we can truly appreciate life to the fullest. Life itself is already intoxicating enough. All we need to do is open our hearts to embrace it, refrain from judging everything right or wrong, and transcend beliefs about what should or shouldn't be. Life is an endless flow that we all are part of. It's a grand scheme that no one can avoid. Sometimes life isn't always comfortable to enjoy, nor is it always easy to endure. However, the most important thing is that we live it fully. Thank you for following along.